Hi everyone! So the video you're about to watch I filmed in August of this year, so it's been quite a while, and I've finally gotten around to editing it. So even though it's not really still quite relevant, I'm going to put it up anyway because I put a lot of time into filming it and stuff, and I figured why not. So D23 Expo 2013 was completely awesome, and here you go. The video is in 3 parts because it ended up being so long. So here's part 1. Enjoy. Hello guys! I just wanted to do a video about D23 Expo. This last weekend it was my first D23 Expo, and I've been wanting to go ever since they first started doing it. This was the 3rd annual, I believe, or 3rd biannual one. So Disney D23 Expo 2013. It was so much fun. We were just going to go for 1 day, but we decided to go for 2 days because there was an event on Friday night that we really wanted to go to. So we went Friday and Saturday, and we decided there's just no way that we would have been able to see everything that we saw in 1 day. There's just no way. There's just way too much to see. And honestly, I could have used a 3rd day. Because there's things, I was looking through my program, and there's things that we didn't get to see or do that I would have liked to. Panels that I didn't get to see because, you know, we were in line for other panels and whatever. Anyways, so I wanted to show you kind of just what I got, sort of showcase the experience. First of all, the program guidebook thing has everything you need to know in it, and I was flipping through it last night, and I saw some stuff that I was like, oh man, I wish I would have flipped through this while we were there so that I would have known to go to that booth or whatever. Because like the investor relations booth, which we saw, and we were like, and we just passed by, we didn't stop at it at all. But if you voted on their new like stock certificate or whatever, you got a pin. This pin right here. And I love pins, and so I want it, but it's too late now. Anyways, one cool thing, there were people just walking around, like famous people. Well, famous if you know who they are. So on the inside cover of this is Little Mermaid. And up here is John Musker's autograph. He directed with Ron Clements The Little Mermaid. And down here is Pat Carroll, who is the voice of Ursula in The Little Mermaid. And she was at an artist's booth doing a signing with an artist who did villain paintings. And that was totally awesome. She's the sweetest lady. So this is really cool. I'm going to cut this out and frame it. One thing, I was being silly. That was Friday that we got both of those autographs. And John Musker was just walking around, and my friend Vanessa looked over and was like, that's John Musker. That's him. I was like, are you sure? She's like, yes, I'm positive. So she went over and stood by him while he was talking to somebody waiting to ask him for his autograph. And so I went over there, I got his autograph too. But so after Friday night, we went to the park to watch the fireworks. Well, we stood in between the 2 parks, and because that's free, and watched the fireworks. But as we were waiting in line to go through the security checkpoint, who is behind us but Ron Clements? And Vanessa noticed him, and she's like freaking out and like looking for her pen and something for him to sign. And then she asks him, and I was like, oh, I didn't notice him, so I can't. I hope he didn't think I was rude. I feel like I may have come off as rude, but you live and you learn. So that would have been totally awesome to have John Musker, Ron Clements, and Pat Carroll on here, but it's just going to have to be the 2 of them for now. So I tell you. Because I'll never see him again. And he won't remember me. And I could have had a really cool autographed picture. but instead it's just a cool autographed picture. Whatever. Anyways, on to the stuff. Alright, let's see. Let's start with the D23 Dream Store. Wasn't really that great of a dream store. I only bought 2 things. If you know me at all, you know I love pins and vinyls. So what did I get at the dream store? A pin and a vinyl. So, I had seen these Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. They had also black and white, super cute. The box. I'm not one of those who's like, oh, I'm going to keep it in the box because I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it, but the box is cool. It tells like where I got it. It's a nice box. This is the only one. I don't have a whole bunch of them. Like my other vinyls, I have a bunch of the same box. So, you know, I may open it from the bottom and then take her out and look at her and put her, and put her back in and tape up the bottom just, you know, for display purposes. But she's super cute. The Mickeys were all gone when I got in there. We got in there Saturday morning because there's a line to get in the store. There's a line for everything. There's a line to get in the store. At one point we waited in line to get into another line to get in line to go through the treasures of the Disney archives. That was ridiculous. And it wasn't really worth it, to be quite honest. But that's another story. Anyways, there was no line. Saturday morning we got there before they opened the doors for the general public. And that was our plan of attack. Straight to the Dream Store because we wanted to look through it. We wanted to get our D23 stuff. So anyways, so vinyl. They were out of the Mickeys, but that's fine because the Minnie was the one I really wanted. And then I got a pin. A D23 Expo 2013 pin. And they had multiple, you know, ones you could get. But I love Sorcerer Mickey, so I had to get him. So anyways, so that was the Disney Dream Store. Then there was the Collectors Forum, which was all the, you know, outside vendors selling their Disney things. There was a lot of art. There was a ton of Disney art. And if I had a house of my own and a fiance who would let me get Disney art and put in our house eventually, and a lot of money, I would have gone hog wild. Because there was some gorgeous stuff, some really interesting, neat stuff. But what I ended up getting was little things, collectible type things, because I'm a knick-knack type person. I first started collecting vinyls when the Animation 1 series was like buy one, get one, I think, at the Disney stores. And so through, you know, the years, a couple years, I guess, I've been collecting, I have managed to get together the whole Animation 1 series except for the Chaser, which I don't have any, you know, there's no fantasy of me ever getting the Chaser, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But the only ones that I don't have aside from the Chaser are Dodger and Alice, and I really, really want Alice. I've tried to trade her multiple times, it never works. I tried to buy her on eBay, and she always goes for like a ridiculous amount of money, like $60+, and I'm not going to spend that much on a vinyl. I just can't. I won't do it. I can't. That's just ridiculous. So my friend Vanessa saw the Park, I can't remember the series, vinyl, the Yeti, that she and her husband want and have been wanting for a long time. And right under him, on the little tray, was Alice. And she was $25, and that is like the top I will ever spend on a vinyl. But that's cheaper than I've ever seen her on eBay. And I would, you know, that was my shot. That was my chance to get her, and I really, really wanted her. So here she is. I'm so excited. So yay. Woo! I'm excited because I finally have her. Alright. Then, we'll go for pins next. There was, tons of bins of pins, and that I could have spent a lot of time going through looking for the specific ones that I wanted. I did not. I looked at the boards that they had, because the two friends that I went with, they're not pin collectors. I'm the only pin collector. They're both vinyl collectors, which I am also. It's dangerous. I'm bad. Pins and vinyls, it's like, oh my gosh. But I can't choose. Anyways, people had boards with, everything on this board is $3, everything on this board is $4, so forth and so on. So the first one I'm going to show you, I found this. It was $3. This pin, it was like the first pin I ever traded for. When we booked one of our family vacations through AAA, we got a pin lanyard with two of the same pin. It was a pin with Pinocchio and he was in an Autopia car. And so we got two of those, one to keep and one to trade. And we were in we were in what is now Little Green Men. I don't think it was back then. And we were, chatting with these other people who had booked their trip through the Walt Disney Travel Company. And I loved this pin. And so we were like, hey, you want to trade? Sure. So I traded for this pin, and I loved it. It was on my backpack, and I put it in my friend's car, and it popped off, and I could not find it. And so I lost it, and it made me really sad. So when I saw it on this guy's board for $3, I was like, done. I'm getting it. I have to. So I'm really excited that I have this again. I know it's not like worth. I don't care about if pins are worth anything. If I like them, then I collect them. So anyways, the other pin I got was this 50, and it has Aurora and Prince Philip on it, and the little hidden Mickey right there. I got it because I collect Sleeping Beauty pins. Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent, love her, and anything from that movie. And then I got it home, and I noticed the little Mickey, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's on like only certain sets of pins. And I looked on the back, and it says Cast Lanyard Collection 6 of 6. So I don't know. I have to do my research on this pin and see like when it's from and what. I think it says 2006 on here, but it's really, really small, so I can't really tell. But they had other ones. They had Aladdin and Jasmine and Snow White and Prince Charming from the same collection as this on there. But I'm not interested in collecting the whole set because I just wanted them. So, but that was kind of cool because now I have one with a little Mickey on it. So, okay. Alright, so I said that I liked Maleficent, and I threw the box away, I think, which is fine. But they have those Funko vinyl, Disney vinyl things. I saw them in Barnes & Noble. And there's a Maleficent one. And here she is. And I love Maleficent. And so this one was sitting on the tray. And I was like, oh, I really want her, but I'm not going to buy one and just hope that I get Maleficent because the odds are very small that I will. And the lady behind the counter was like, oh, well, you can, whatever you get, you can trade for this Maleficent. And I was like, okay, done. So I pulled the box, paid for $7. That's good. When I'm used to paying $13 for a vinyl. And this is not a vinyl. But I like her. She's cute. Anyway, so I pulled Mike from Monsters, Inc. So I quickly traded him away for Maleficent. And so I'm really excited about her. Because it's fun. She's a fun vinyl. There is not a Maleficent vinyl, and I think that there should be because I want her. Moving on to the Journey to 60 Years of Imagineering. What is that called? 60 Years Journey into Imagineering. And it was a whole exhibit thing that they had. And it was the coolest thing. We had no idea what it was really. we waited. The line wasn't too long, so we were like, you know, we really want to check this out. We don't know what it is, so we went. And you go into this little room, and they play a little video about kind of what Imagineering is, and then you're like, oh, okay, that was cool. And then the doors open on the other side of the room, and it's this huge, like, we were like, where was all this hiding? Like, I didn't know this was all back here. It was, you know, each, like, division of Imagineering had its own little booth, and you could go in, and they had stuff set up. There was real Imagineers there in each little booth to talk to you. It was, like, just the coolest thing. It was so cool. So, you know, they had a booth on audio animatronics. They had a booth on special effects painting, modeling and making maquettes, and a booth on set design and set decoration for the attractions. Like, you know, the lobby of Tower of Terror is so amazing. That's them. Ride operation programming. Just like more than I can name and remember. It was so cool. Plus, they had a little thing where you could look at the actual original pencil drawing that Walt had, I can't remember the artist's name, do to show the bank to get the loan to build Disneyland. And that was just so amazing to be right there. And it was just, there are no words. It was really such a treat, and such an unexpected treat. So, you leave the Imagineering exhibit, and right on the corner is Mickey's of Glendale, which is a store just for the Imagineers that they brought to the expo. And I'm going to show you what I got. What's our theme? Pins and vinyls. So I got this pin. They had tons of pins. But this, you know, just basic Walt Disney Imagineering. Tells what it is. I liked the pin. Sorcerer Mickey. They had tons of pins. I could have gone hog wild. They had character pins that all had the sorcerer hat on, like just random, all the characters. And it was, there was just so many pins, and I wanted them all. But I picked that one, the most utilitarian one. Anyways, and then they had a vinyl for each, like, department of Imagineering, I guess. And so they were all sort of abstract, so I picked the cutest one. And it is for, it says graphic on the bottom, so graphic design, I guess. And they all had the sorcerer hat, the figure, and the box is really cool. I like the box. And it says, let's see, limited edition of 1,000. That's cool. This is another one that I'm going to keep in the box, just like my mini, because it's cool. It says Sir Mickey on his, or Sir Mickey's on his little tummy there. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to be, but I think it's cute, so, you know. Anyways, and then I got a t-shirt, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it says Walt Disney Imagineering, and then Sorcerer Mickey is there. And I like it, because I need more Disney t-shirts. I realized as we were going to this that I don't have any Disney t-shirts, really. So